Hey everybody, it's Mike here with the Deephaven community team. It's October week 4, and we got a couple cool things to started. All right, so first thing I'm going to show you is subplots that I'm working on this week. So you all know that before you could just create a plot just like this, creating one plot in the chart, but now you can also specify the number of rows and columns in a chart, and also where each chart will be positioned within that. So this is 2 rows and 1 column, and I put 2 charts in that. So that. And you'll see I have 2 different waves, 2 different charts here in the same panel. Now you can also specify the row span. That, and see that that chart takes up 2 rows in this grid, and 2 other charts on the left. And it also supports call span as well, so you can span it across 2 columns. Big grid. So that'll be coming to a release soon. Right, and next up we have Colin. He's going to show debugging in Python. Colin.
All right, so this is something of a, oops, there we go. It's asking me to share. There we go. Something of a risky demo. We'll see if it works. It's a half-finished feature, but it's the half that we needed to present this part here. So we can already run the Deephaven platform from inside of Python. We've got the server started here already. And this now is the next step we needed in order to get the Java threads that are running, both for your console itself and for the engine as it processes your data to be debuggable from Python. So just for background, really quickly, we've got the logging that happens here already from this console here, and then any logging that happens from here gets written to both consoles also. It does confuse the terminal a little bit, so we generally don't advise running both terminals at a time, but you can technically do it. So to turn on the debugger, we use pydevd, which I have learned a lot about this week. And then I need to start the debugger, the remote debugger server in my IDE. It tells me how to connect. I'm actually not using the PyCharm variant. I had some problems with that, but it turns out that the regular version works just fine. So if we say, go ahead and connect, we should see the debugger saying, yep, I'm connected to that remote instance. And now from inside of here, of course, these 2 functions here, foo and bar. If I run foo from here, first I have to import it, of course. Okay, I can type for a demo. It's a good thing the brittleness here is my fingers and not the actual code so far. So we get foo, we get into the debugger. It says, here's your values. We can take a look around. If we try to invoke that directly from the console, we also get into this debugger properly, and we can inspect things. We can see that we're on a dummy thread, which is Python's way of saying, hey, something else started this thread. I don't know what it was. In this case, it's Java that started that thread. And then we can do some regular Deephaven operations. So to say, let's make an empty table. An empty table, it turns out when it does its work, it is working on your current thread most of the time. So if we say a equals foo of 1, it's going to need to invoke that function, which has to go through the debugger to get it. And then once it has it, we've got this table here. And then we can also say, okay, within the engine itself, go and compute these things as they're needed. So if we do a timetable, we're going to do this every 5 seconds, so it's not making the computer hard to use as it breaks, as it pauses and breakpoints. A equals foo, again 1, then we get it right away. And then every few seconds, it's going to try and say, hey, do you want to do this again? Take a look here. We can turn off that breakpoint. It'll just continue chugging along here. And if we decide to turn it back on again, they start pausing a few seconds later. And that's all we got.
That'll make it a lot easier to debug code. That's it for this week. Forward to our new release coming out soon. Cheers.